Namaskar. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Today we'll be seeing a story from Ramayana. The story you might have heard about the little squirrel. Shri Ram was on one side, the Ram Setu was yet to be built, and then they started building the Ram Setu. It was a noble work and everybody wanted to contribute as per their strength, stamina or capacity. So the Vanaras were building the bridge, or they were the prime source, and there was a little squirrel on one of the trees. It also wanted to contribute, but it didn't know how to. So then what she did was she went to the sea, dipped her tail into water, and then moved it on the sand. Some sand was picked up by the tail, and then the squirrel went near to the construction site or near to where the bridge was being constructed and put her tail in water again, thus depositing sand over there. And she started doing that repeatedly. The Vanaras, some of the Vanaras who saw her doing this, they started laughing because it was hardly any sand that was getting shifted. Shri Ram saw that, and he is said to have called this squirrel nearby and blessed her with by placing his fingers on her back and telling all the Vanaras that anybody with devotion can do a great work. It need not be a big contribution. Each small contribution works, and each helps in making the bridge better, bigger and stronger. No contribution at any point of time is too small to be considered. And he blesses the squirrel. And as the story goes, this is why even today we see the three fingers of Shri Ram on the squirrel's back. As a mythological story, this is nice. Akhya is called. Yeah. But do we know the actual practice? And the actual practice is astounding, to say the least. The Ramayana itself talks about it. In Ramayana, people are perplexed. How do we get the whole of Vanarsena across to Sri Lanka, or across to Lanka as it was called then? And then one of the Vanaras, his name being Nila, he volunteered. He said he is a descendant of Vishwakarma, the celestial architect of the gods. The gods had the celestial architect by the name Vishwakarma, while the Asuras had the celestial architect by the name Mayasura. This Nilvanar, he went up to Shri Ram and said that he is the son of Vishwakarma and he has picked up good enough knowledge about building bridges, building buildings. And he would be able to construct a bridge in 4 days if enough help was provided. Shri Ram blessed him and asked him to go ahead. Then the Nilavanar, he studied the topography, selected the location and asked the Vanar to bring in big boulders and throw in the water. After the big boulders were thrown, trees were put in between, smaller stones were put in. After the smaller stones, sand was put in. By doing this, they slowly built up the bridge over the next 2 days. And over the next another 2 days, this bridge was strengthened further to the extent that it came above water and it could be walked on. And then the Vanar Sena on the 5th day was able to traverse to Lanka based on the bridge that was built up by Neelavana. The interesting story starts now. In those days in India, a number of animals were used for checking the strength or durability of construction. How this was done? Especially squirrels or such animals were kept in captivity, and then after the wall was built up or a dam was built, they were set free on one side of the wall or one side of the bridge or one side of the dam, and on the other side variety of fruits or other items, for example akhrots, which are very much liked by squirrels, were kept, but they were not allowed to go around or over the bridge or around or over the wall. And then they waited and waited and waited. The squirrels would try to find way through the walls, and if a squirrel did reach those food items, it was a sure indication that there was some crevice, some inconsistency in the wall that needs to be checked up. That much area of the wall used to be demolished and rebuilt, and this was done till the time that no the squirrel or no animal could reach the other side. And in this way, the consistency strength of the bridge or consistency strength of the wall was determined. And this was the method that was utilized all over the place. And as a result, we see that many of the temples, many of the walls, many of the forts which are built using such kind of novel ideas are still standing strong even today, to this day. This is our ancient tradition, this is our ancient custom, and this is our ancient artisanship as well as art. This is something that we need to know more about, care about it, and keep it alive for ancient wisdom to continue to the next generation. Thank you.